Hello everyone, welcome to Tiny Steps to English. Today I am going to share my personal story, my struggle to learn English. Learning a new language is never easy and I faced lots of challenges along the way. I hope by sharing my journey, it will inspire you to keep going, no matter how tough it feels at times. So, let's dive into my story. I remember when I first started learning English, I was really excited at first, but quickly realized how difficult it was. In school, English was taught very traditionally. We focused a lot on grammar and vocabulary, but we didn't speak much. It was frustrating because I could write in English, but whenever I tried to speak, I would freeze up. I was terrified of making mistakes. Every time I tried to speak English, my mind would go blank and I would be scared that people would laugh at me. This fear kept me quiet for a long time and I avoided speaking in English as much as possible. The problem was I was not using English in real conversations. I only learned the textbook stuff like this is a pen or what time is it. It was like learning rules but not knowing how to play the game. And that's when I realized something had to change. My turning point came when I decided to push myself out of my comfort zone. I thought to myself, if I really want to learn English, I have to use it in real life. That's when I started practicing every day, even if it was just small sentences. I started by watching English movies and TV shows with subtitles. At first, it was overwhelming because they spoke so fast, but I made it a rule to watch at least one English show every day. Gradually, I started understanding more and more, and my listening skills improved. Then I started using language learning apps. I found people who were learning my native language and we exchanged conversations. I realized that speaking with real people is so much different from memorizing phrases from a book. It was terrifying at first, but then something amazing happened. I made mistakes, but no one laughed at me. They corrected me and I learned from it. It was also during this time that I learned a big lesson. You don't have to be perfect to communicate. I used to think I had to speak flawless English, but that's just not true. The important thing is that people understand you even if you make a mistake or two, and that gave me so much confidence to keep going. After I gained some confidence, I made a commitment to practice speaking English every day. I didn't have anyone around me who spoke English, so I had to get creative. Here is what I did. I practiced speaking to myself in the mirror. It sounds silly, but it really helped. I would pretend to have conversations and it made me feel more comfortable speaking out loud. I would narrate my day in English as I went about my daily tasks. I would describe what I was doing, like now I'm cooking dinner or I'm going to the store. It helped me get used to thinking in English. I started writing a daily journal in English. Every night I would write about my day. Even though my sentences were simple at first, this helped me improve my vocabulary and grammar over time. Little by little, English became a part of my daily life. I wasn't just learning the language, I was living it. Of course, the journey wasn't without setbacks. There were days when I felt like I wasn't improving at all. I would get frustrated when I couldn't find the right words or when I made the same mistakes over and over again. I even thought about giving up a few times. But one thing that kept me going was reminding myself why I started learning English in the first place. I wanted to connect with people from different cultures, watch movies without subtitles, and even travel abroad one day. Keeping my goals in mind helped me push through the tough times. One of the hardest things for me was understanding native speakers. Their slang and fast speech threw me off, but instead of feeling discouraged, I treated it as a challenge. I would pause videos or podcasts and repeat the sentences until I could understand them. It wasn't easy, but with time, my listening skills improved and I felt more comfortable following conversations. So, here I am today, still learning and improving. My journey isn't over. There's always more to learn, and I still make mistakes. But I'm no longer afraid of them. If there's one thing I have learned, it's that languages learning is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, patience, and lot of practice, but it's worth it. To anyone who is struggling with learning English, my advice is this: don't give up. It's okay to feel frustrated or stuck sometimes. The key is to keep going. Even when it feels hard, surround yourself with English, practice every day, and remember that every mistake is a chance to learn and improve. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you in your own journey to learn English. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tiny Steps to English. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.